very few, but at the same token, we are 2-0. It's nice to actually get out of the gate a little bit and, work through some kinks, but at the same token, being able to beat a team in Sacred Heart that I thought they played well. They became confident. I think some of that was our own doing, and they played better than they had up until this point. So I give Coach Pike and his team a lot of credit for really staying in there and hanging tough. I thought we made a lot of mistakes on our own right. The biggest thing I'm concerned about is our free throw blockouts, where on 2 different occasions it looked like we were going to kind of pull away and have a comfortable lead, and they ended up getting 2 free throw blockout rebounds that I think both of them led to and ones or a 3-pointer and a 3-point play. So that really is unacceptable, and I think I'll let the guys know that we can't do that against a team like New Mexico State or TCU, teams that are a real high level opponents.
Is rebounding in general something? You've been out rebounding the first 2 games. Is that something that's a concern? Yeah,
I thought we were a decent rebounding team, and we had spent a lot of time in practice on our screen outs and rebounding. Some of that is just having a desire to go get basketballs. The guys are athletic enough, they're long enough, they're big enough. So now I have to get their mindset to be, go get the rebounds, go get the basketball. There's so many things we've been working on that at times throughout the season, when you don't stay on something, it tends to go down a little bit, whether it's your half-court defense or your rebounding. So, I'll have to put a better emphasis on what I deem important, because I've said from the outset that we were going to be a good defensive team and rebound the basketball, and we've done a decent job at times, but there's other times where we look like we're not very good.
Derek, are you more bothered about the slow start or the slow finish? The in-between part was okay, but the start and the finish were a little bothered.
I'm bothered by a lot of things, Ron, but the slow starts are a little bit of concern. I'm going to watch the tape and really see kind of why we're getting off the slow starts. I thought tonight we got 6 great shots early on in the game. We missed 6 or 7 one-footers. I don't know if we're shooting them with one hands or we're not looking at the basket, what's going on, but it looked like to me like we were playing very good defense early. We missed a ton of one-foot shots and gave that team some confidence. So maybe we'll have to have a 1-foot shooting drill to see if we can remedy that situation.
Talk about the job Daryl did for you tonight.
Well, Daryl, he's still a freshman, and at times, as good as he can play, he also has some lapses where he doesn't play as good as he is. He has a chance to be a very good player. But what he brings, and I know the one thing I can count on, is he's going to bring energy. He's going to run around a little bit more than I like, but he's going to cause chaos and kind of turn the game into a little bit of a street ball game, a rat game. And I thought he did a great job in the second half tonight. Of really just taking Sacred Heart out of some of the things they were trying to do. I thought him and Big City actually won the game for us. When I inserted City on the defensive end, he clogged the paint. We got a couple rebounds we had him in getting, and he really did a good job. So Daryl and City in the second half were key for us.
How much is his ability to make free throws make him that much more of an asset late in the game?
Well, he's got such an edge to him, where he's a tough, hard-nosed kid that's going to compete. I don't think he gets fazed by the pressure. He's trying to dribble through 7 guys, and I'm over there screaming. He's not even hearing me. He's just playing. That's kind of what you want out of your point guard, maybe just not as a freshman in his second game. Maybe as a sophomore halfway through. So he does have some good intangibles, and making free throws at the end is huge. Obviously that won us the game that we were able to kind of keep him at bay by knocking down some free throws. So I'm interested to watch his progress and see how far he can come and how fast.
You used he and Gary together at times. Are you pleased with that as a combination?
Yeah, I thought they played 4 guards and not even a real big guy. It was kind of, they were playing small lineups out there, and I thought we just had a matchup with them, especially at different times where, I wanted to keep Daryl in, and I think Freddie needed a break, and I thought GC was the next best matchup.
You talked about all the things that you want to work on, but you're coming into part of a 5-game and 10-day situation. How difficult is it going to be for you to try to get some of the stuff? Or are they going to have to just play through some of that?
It's impossible. It really is. When you play this many games in such a short amount of time, it's tough to really, how much can we actually practice tomorrow? Not much. Can you really practice that much on Friday? We can go through some things, but it's more going to be mental than it is going to be physical, because I want to make sure we're energized and ready to go for Saturday night. So I'm hoping that they're maturing and that they're going to listen and take that next step, where we don't always have to do it physically, but if we do it mentally, they're going to catch on. Some guys just need to look in the mirror and play a little better. I told Matt in the locker room, just look in the mirror, give yourselves, start taking the team over, take ownership in the team. I want to be the coach. I don't want to have to be the captain or the leader. I want to be the coach, and you guys start taking over a little bit.
Have you used Matt Hill more than you thought you would at this point, and you've been pretty pleased with him?
He's practiced. I mean, he's done a great job in practice. The funny thing is that in practice I play him out on the perimeter, and when the games have started, I'm using him as kind of that inside guy and that inside presence. So it's funny that the guys that are seniors seem to play a little better in the games right now because they've been around a little longer. They're physically more developed, and they kind of been around the block a few times.
Derek, you have no choice, but is this a good time for you guys to go up against two pretty significant teams?
I'm not sure if we're ready for it, but let's find out. I mean, you coach and you play to see where you stand up against NCAA tournament level teams. I think New Mexico State's a team that will definitely be in consideration come that time, and TCU's a team that's really made some strides with a couple kids that had sat out, and they're doing a nice job, and they're in a conference kind of comparable to ours, and we're picked probably a little higher than us. So, two good tests. Are we ready for it? Well, if you saw the game tonight, you'd probably say no. But at the same token, we do need to place somebody just to see how far off or how close we are, or are we better?
What did you see with Sampson tonight?
Sampson's improved. The guys that I've kind of ridden the hardest, you can only really jump on so many guys. I don't have enough time and energy to go down the line with everybody. And the guys that I've kind of ridden the hardest, whether it's Sampson or Javon, they've kind of been the guys over time that have performed better. Like Sampson, he's had a rough go of it here. I mean, I've stayed on him probably on a daily basis for the last year and a half just because I want him to do the things that make him a good player, which is come for loose balls, loose rebounds, be tough. Don't just take crazy, wild threes. You see he's taking a lot less threes and he's scoring more. But because he's good around the rim, he can get by guys in a dribble, he's good in transition, and he's a great kid that's working hard.
How much does Sean and TV do to start to get themselves on track?
That's a good question. I think I need to spend some time with those guys and just see, if there's anything going on other than just basketball that, they're thinking about, or is it something that we're doing as a team or I'm doing as a staff that, not put them in the right positions. But all in all, I think they're in a little bit of a funk that they just got to get themselves out of by coming in the gym and working harder, getting extra time, and playing harder in practice. A lot of times that works, that gets guys out of a little bit of a funk. So I'm confident that both of those guys are going to play well come this weekend.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Impression on him. Do you feel as good up there as you look?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was a little nervous in the first half again, but I'm just trying to get accustomed to the college game, and I think I'm doing a good job of it. Just got to start off a little better each half.
Is the way you played in the second half, will that give you confidence going forward?
Most definitely. I mean, I guess college, you have to have confidence going in the game, you know what I'm saying? I would say I haven't been having confidence, but I'm just trying to get better each day, you know what I'm saying? Work hard, go out, do the things my coach asked me to do.
You feel like the way you play defensively has kind of disrupted some opponents a little bit?
Most definitely. That's always been my biggest asset of my game is defense. I think that changes the game around when picking up 94 feet, it's tough for guys to bring it up.
You're very aggressive going after steals. Is that something your coach is talking about, or is that does he let you play that way?
I've been doing that my whole life, you know what I'm saying? I've been playing with coaches that's been strong with defense, that just been instilling that in me for a long time.
You talked about the difference for you from the first game to the second game. Did things slow down tonight compared to the Rider game for you?
I wouldn't say it slowed down because it was a tough game. So, you know what I'm saying? It was the same. I feel like it was the same game. I think we should have won by a lot more, but not really.
But for you, did you get more comfortable tonight than you were in the first game?
Yeah.
And how did the game change for you?
I pick and choose my spots. I think in the first game I was forcing a lot of stuff. So I was just picking and choosing my spots, trying to get guys shots, taking the shots that was there for me.
Daryl, why do you think you didn't win by more? Because they did make a run at the end.
I think we came off flat as a team, not just the starters, just as a team. I came off the bench a little flat, the other dudes, and we just got the W. I'm just happy we got the W.
Daryl, how tall are you really?
5'9.5".
All right.
Anthony, Coach you guys all talked about learning stuff in wins last game. Is the lesson from this one putting the team away?
Yeah, I think it is. We definitely got to figure out some things as to why we're coming out so flat. And what's causing us to get off to these slow starts. But I think that also is a lesson, is just closing out teams as well. We had a 10-point lead like late in the second half, and I know they came down and got a couple buckets. So that's another area of improvement that we got to work on as well.
When you guys were making good runs, which you did from time to time, what was the reason? Was it mostly defensive pressure to create offense?
Yeah, I think so. We get a stop and go down and get a couple buckets, and that would just speed the momentum of the game up and help our run.
Anthony, can you talk a little bit about what Daryl has added to the team, how the game is different when he's out there?
Yeah, he speeds up the tempo of the game. He makes the other point guards' life miserable by pressuring the basketball. And he's also in transition in the half-court set. He finds guys very well. So I think he's a definite plus for us when he's on the floor.
Sampson, you look like you were trying to be aggressive pretty early. Did you come into this game feeling like, all right, you could make an impact that way?
Yeah, I think that's the goal this year, just to be more aggressive and more in the attack zone, unlike last year. So, I mean, that's my angle.
You seem last year you took a lot. Last year it seemed like you took a lot of threes. This year you seem like you've done more of the damage going to the basket and inside things. Is that kind of a conscious choice that's more where your strengths lie?
It took me a long time to figure it out, maybe a year since last year, but I mean that's what all the coaches helped me on. So, I'm actually starting to realize that I get better results going to the rack first, and playing off my defense, and that brings the offense.
Does your performance tonight restate the fact that points can come from any player on any given night on this team?
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure y'all can see that we have so many different weapons, so it could be on any given night anybody can go off. So that's the type of team we're gonna be this year.
Is there the fact that Vincent, who had a good season last year, hasn't done it yet? Does that feel like there's another guy still coming?
Yeah, that's another weapon y'all haven't saw yet. So I mean, once they get the rolling, and then we get Javon back, then Jesse coming in the end of the semester, then it's gonna be hell.
Sampson, you got some early points, but as the team as a whole had another slow start. Do you, in your mind, you have a reason for that, or is it just a combination of things?
No, I think what it is we started off this game thinking about the last game, and I think we're thinking about trying to impress people or whatever, but I mean, it'll come. I'm pretty sure it'll come.
Coach is ready if there's anything else for the players.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.